Let's get right into it. Number 9. The fish with a transparent head. The bearlie fish has a completely transparent head. You can see right through it. It looks like someone stuck a glass dome on its head. Those green orbs you can see through its transparent head are its eyes. They can rotate all the way around inside its head, like underwater security cameras. When you live 2,500 feet below the surface where it's darker than your room at 3 a.m., you need every advantage you can get. The transparent dome acts like a windshield, protecting its sensitive eyes while allowing it to look straight up. This is crucial because most of its prey swims above it. The fluid inside its head has the same density as the water outside. This means light passes through without any distortion. It's basically nature's version of a high-end camera lens. Those rotating eyes are filled with a green pigment that filters out unwanted light. It's like having built-in night vision goggles. Scientists think this fish uses its transparent head as a shield against jellyfish stings. The bearlie likes to steal food from jellyfish tentacles. Having a bulletproof glass dome for a head comes in pretty handy when you're playing steal the snack with a creature covered in tiny poison harpoons. The first time scientists found one of these fish, they thought it was broken. The specimen they pulled up had a completely smashed head because the transparent dome is so delicate. It wasn't until 2004 that we finally saw one with its head intact, thanks to deep-sea cameras. We were looking at broken fish for over 50 years. Number 8. The underwater crop circles. Imagine you're diving off the coast of Japan, and you spot something that looks like aliens left their mark on the seafloor. Perfect geometric circles, about 6 feet wide, carved into the sand with intricate patterns that would make crop circle believers lose their minds. Scientists were baffled when they first found these things. Some thought underwater currents were creating them. Turns out the artist behind these masterpieces is smaller than your hand. Meet the white-spotted pufferfish, the Bob Ross of the ocean. This tiny guy spends a week working 24/7 to create these circles. He moves individual grains of sand with his tiny fins. It's like building a sandcastle grain by grain while holding your breath. These aren't just random doodles in the sand. The male pufferfish is building the world's most elaborate dating profile. He creates these circles to impress female pufferfish. Think of it as underwater Tinder. But instead of lying about your height, you have to build a sand mansion. These circles aren't just for show. The ridges and valleys he creates actually control water flow. He's building a tiny underwater air conditioning system for his future babies. When a female finally shows up, she inspects his work like the world's pickiest art critic. If she likes what she sees, she lays her eggs in the center of the circle. After all that work, the whole thing gets washed away by the currents. So our little artist has to start all over again for the next potential mate. It's like having to rebuild your house every time you want to go on a date. Number 7. The bone-eating zombie worm. 10,000 feet down in the pitch-black ocean, where pressure could crush a car like a soda can, scientists found a whale skeleton covered in red, feathery zombies. These are Osidax worms. Scientists call them zombie worms because they eat dead things. But these worms don't even have a mouth or a stomach. Instead, they drill into whale bones using acid. They're basically tiny underwater acid monsters. Their bodies are full of bacteria that digest the bone goop for them. Millions of tiny chefs living inside them, cooking their food. The females are the size of your thumb, but the males are microscopic and live inside the females. Hundreds of tiny husband worms living inside their wives. Scientists didn't even know these existed until 2002, off the coast of California, feasting on a dead whale. Since then, they've discovered these worms aren't picky. They'll munch on any bones, fish, seal, even cow bones that fall off ships. These worms might be the reason we're missing a lot of dinosaur fossils. Millions of years of these acid-spewing zombies dissolving bones on the seafloor, erasing pages from Earth's history book. Number 6. The goblin shark's alien jaw. The goblin shark has a jaw that shoots forward like a spring-loaded nightmare. When it spots prey, its entire face transforms. The jaw can extend almost the entire length of its head in less than a second. Most sharks' jaws extend maybe an inch or two when they bite. The goblin shark can shoot its jaws out up to 9.5 times farther. That's like if you could suddenly stretch your mouth out to your belly button. The jaw moves at about 3.1 meters per second. That's faster than you can blink. The goblin shark is actually pretty lazy by shark standards. It's slow, like a drifting plastic bag in pitch darkness. So instead of chasing its food, evolution gave it this wild, spring-loaded face. It just floats around looking all weird and pink, waiting for something tasty to swim by. Then its face explodes forward like a biological jack-in-the-box. This crazy jaw has been around for about 125 million years. While T-Rex was running around on land, these things were already perfecting their face-launching skills underwater. The craziest part is we've only ever seen this thing eat just a few times. It lives so deep that catching it in action is nearly impossible. Most of what we know comes from studying dead specimens, or the rare times we've caught one alive. We have no idea how many of these things are down there. They could be super rare, or there could be thousands of them, just floating around in the dark with their spring-loaded faces. Number 5. The truth about the world's ugliest animal. That sad, blob-like fish that went viral a few years ago. Turns out we've been doing this fish dirty. That melted-looking creature isn't what the blobfish looks like at all. The blobfish lives about 4,000 feet below the surface. Down there, the pressure is intense. We're talking 120 times more pressure than what we feel up here. Imagine being squeezed from every direction by the weight of 120 atmospheres. In its natural habitat, the blobfish actually looks pretty normal. It's got a streamlined body, kind of like a tadpole. That gelatinous flesh we make fun of is a brilliant piece of evolutionary engineering. The blobfish doesn't have a swim bladder like other fish. Instead, its body is made up of jelly-like tissue that's slightly less dense than water. This lets it float above the seafloor without using any energy. It's like nature's version of a living hovercraft. When we drag these poor guys up to the surface, something horrifying happens. All that pressure holding its shape together suddenly disappears. It's like taking the bones out of your face and expecting it to keep its shape. The result is its face literally melts. Those famous pictures we've all seen are basically a blobfish corpse mangled by decompression. Scientists who have seen these fish in their natural habitat say they look nothing like their viral photos. They're actually pretty normal-looking fish. The blobfish won a contest for World's Ugliest Animal in 2013, which is like winning a Worst Driver award after someone totaled your car. Number 4. The paired-up predator. The pistol shrimp is nearly blind. Living in the ocean without sight is like surviving in a city with a blindfold on. But this little guy found the perfect roommate. The goby fish. The shrimp is great at digging burrows but can't see well enough to cross the street. The goby is always on lookout for danger. The shrimp digs out a sweet burrow for both of them to live in. A tiny underwater apartment with multiple exits. The nearly blind shrimp keeps one of its antennae on the goby fish at all times. It's like having your hand on your friend's shoulder in a dark, haunted house. When the goby spots danger, it does a specific tail flick. That's the signal for both of them to dive into their burrow. The underwater version of run. The partnership is so tight that if the goby dies, the shrimp usually follows. Because trying to survive in the ocean while blind is like playing Minecraft on hardcore mode with a broken screen. The shrimp isn't just any ordinary shrimp. It's called a pistol shrimp, because it can create a bubble that explodes with the force of a gunshot. So you've got a blind shrimp with a built-in gun, partnered with a fish that acts as its eyes. It's like nature's version of a buddy cop movie. Number 3. The ultimate impersonator. The mimic octopus is nature's greatest method actor. This little guy isn't content with just changing colors like other octopi. It can transform its entire body to look and move like at least 15 different sea creatures. It doesn't impersonate easy targets like rocks or seaweed. This octopus goes for the dangerous stuff. Deadly sea snakes, lionfish, and even sea anemones. It's like having a Swiss Army knife of disguises, but instead of tools, you've got deadly animal impressions. This octopus doesn't just look like these animals, it studies their behavior and copies their movements perfectly. When it pretends to be a lionfish, it spreads its arms like venomous spines and moves them in the exact same way. When it's doing its sea snake impression, it tucks 6 of its arms into a hole and waves the other 2 around like a pair of deadly snakes. Scientists were baffled when they first discovered this, because most animals that do mimicry can only copy one other species. It's like they're one-trick ponies. But this octopus is like a shape-shifting con artist with multiple personalities. It actually chooses which animal to impersonate based on what's threatening it. If it sees a damselfish, it becomes a sea snake, because damselfish are terrified of sea snakes. If it spots a bigger predator, it might switch to being a lionfish. It's basically playing a deadly game of rock, paper, scissors, but with animal impressions. We only discovered this octopus in 1998. That means this master of disguise was fooling everyone, including scientists, for who knows how long. Number 2. The world's largest waterfall. The world's biggest waterfall isn't visible. It's hidden beneath the waves, between Greenland and Iceland. This underwater monster is called the Denmark Strait Cataract. You're in a submarine diving deeper into the dark ocean. Suddenly you hit a spot where the water just drops, an 11,500-foot plunge. That's more than 3 times taller than Angel Falls, the highest waterfall on land. This waterfall isn't made of regular water falling through air. It's cold water falling through warmer water. When Arctic water meets warmer Atlantic water, the cold water is denser, so it sinks. It plunges down like a liquid avalanche, 175 million cubic feet of water per second. That's like taking every river on Earth, combining them, and multiplying that by 4. The pressure at the bottom would crush you like a soda can in a hydraulic press. This waterfall never stops. It's been flowing for millions of years, quietly churning away in the darkness. Without this massive underwater waterfall, our climate would be completely different. It's a giant underwater conveyor belt, moving heat and nutrients around the planet. Number 1. The 500-year-old shark. Imagine meeting someone who was alive when Shakespeare was writing his plays. Swimming in the dark Arctic waters, there's a shark that's been doing exactly that. The Greenland shark is the longest living vertebrate on Earth. These guys can live for over 500 years. There are Greenland sharks alive today that were swimming around when Columbus was still trying to figure out which way was India. They grow at a rate of about 1 centimeter per year. That's slower than your fingernails grow. And they don't even reach puberty until they're about 150 years old. Imagine waiting a century and a half just to start dating. Scientists figured out their age by looking at their eyes. The lens builds up layers like tree rings. Almost all of these ancient sharks are blind. Parasites attach to their eyes and dangle there like gross fishing lures. But being blind isn't a big deal when you live in the pitch-black depths of the Arctic Ocean. They've adapted to hunt using their other senses. They're like underwater zombies, slowly drifting through the darkness, sniffing out dead and dying animals. They swim at about 0.8 miles per hour. That's slower than you can walk. But when you're going to live for 500 years, what's the rush? Their secret to long life might be this super slow metabolism. The cold Arctic waters slow everything down, including aging. Their meat is toxic to humans. It contains so much trimethylamine oxide that eating it fresh can make you feel drunk, then give you severe digestive issues. This same toxic compound is what helps them survive the crushing pressures of the deep ocean. Somewhere out there is a blind, toxic shark that's been slowly swimming in circles since the Renaissance. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.